Every 4 years, the World Cup Final serves as a tactical proving ground. For the first half-century of the tournament, the prevailing wisdom was absolute. Structure always defeats chaos. Football at the highest level was treated as a complex, systemic puzzle. Managers believed you couldn't rely on isolated moments of magic to win a month-long tournament. Instead, success required 11 players moving and reacting as a single, unified organism. The historical pinnacle, this team-first philosophy, was the 1970 Brazil squad, led by their captain, Carlos Alberto. When Brazil scored their defining final goal, the Brazilian commentators famously screamed about the jogada coletiva, the collective play. The ball moved through nearly the entire team before hitting the back of the net. That was the accepted truth of the era. The greatest teams on Earth achieved immortality by functioning as a flawless, unbreakable machine. Then came 1986. Diego Maradona took the established rulebook of world football and tore it to pieces. In the final minutes of the '86 final against West Germany, Maradona found himself entirely surrounded by 3 defenders. With one touch, he dismantled the entire defensive structure, threading a perfect, desperate pass for Jorge Burruchaga to run onto and score. Looking at this tactical diagram, we see a highly organized European defensive grid completely bypassed by a single, erratic moving target. Extreme individual genius short-circuited the system. This anomaly birthed the one-man army myth. It redefined the role of the superstar, placing the burden of the outcome on a single individual, dwarfing the tactical unit behind them. Argentina's victory established a permanent psychological benchmark. From that moment on, the public demanded that future legends replicate Maradona and win the World Cup entirely on their own. The response from the football establishment took exactly 4 years. The 1990 rematch between Argentina and West Germany was an exercise in systematic revenge. The West German squad abandoned fluid football to build a cynical defensive wall. They designed their entire structure to isolate and suffocate the individual threat. The resulting final was an ugly, chaotic brawl, featuring 2 red cards for Argentina and a late, decisive penalty for the Germans. 1990 proved that the '86 model was incredibly fragile. When faced with a solitary genius, the system will always adapt and close rents to destroy them. By 2014, that impossible standard had trapped a new heir. Lionel Messi arrived in Brazil carrying the exact same expectations that Maradona set decades earlier. The ghost of '86 dictated his legacy. The narrative insisted that if Messi wanted to be considered truly great, he had to drag his team to the trophy through sheer isolated willpower. But where Burruchaga finished his chance in '86, Messi's teammates faltered. Gonzalo Higuaín's early goal was wiped out by an offside flag, and clear chances missed the target entirely. Deep into extra time, Mario Götze controlled the ball on his chest and volleyed it home for Germany. It was a fatal blow, dealing a final punishment to an isolated star. In the aftermath of 2014, the failure of the collective was filtered through the lens of the individual. While Higuaín's miss was a team error, the global conversation focused on Messi standing alone on the pitch, unable to conjure the miracle the myth demanded. The sport finally reconciled with this myth in the 2022 final. It was the ultimate clash between the ghosts of the past and a new tactical reality. On one side, France possessed Kylian Mbappé, the modern embodiment of terrifying individual brilliance, a player entirely capable of ripping through a defense and scoring a hat-trick on the world's biggest stage. The 2022 Argentine squad operated as a support system designed to absorb pressure. They were a collective built specifically to suffer, press, and insulate their captain from the chaos. When Angel Di Maria capped off a brilliant passing sequence to score on the opposite flank, it proved the offensive burden was finally shared. Argentina succeeded in Qatar because they actively rejected the one-man army expectation. They opted for a hybrid model, where the team fought for the individual, rather than forcing the individual to carry the team. After 120 minutes of absolute chaos, the match had to be decided by a shootout. The burden of victory fell out of the hands of the solitary star and onto the entire roster. Gonzalo Montiel stepped up, sent the keeper the wrong way, and buried the final penalty. The bench emptied, the coaching staff embraced, and the entire squad collapsed in collective joy. Raising the gold trophy in Qatar signaled the end of a 36-year psychological ordeal. The weight of 86 finally lifted, replaced by the reality of a new star standing on his own terms. The 1986 World Cup forced the sport to chase a mirage for decades. Peace was only found when the world finally realized that the 86 standard was a ghost, and true victory always requires a team.